As a higher education student, we want you to use ChatGPT and other LLMs, and we want you to use them smartly. While it is not cheating and it is unlikely you will end up in front of an academic ethics or integrity committee, using ChatGPT is not your magical route towards a good grade. All the opposite. You should expect a low grade if you trust an LLM blindly. Here is a rule of thumb. Use ChatGPT as an input for your thinking, not as the output of your assignment. Let's walk through 5 common mistakes students make in higher education when using ChatGPT. Mistake number 1, copying and pasting the entire assignment instructions. It feels efficient, but it is a trap. Why? Because you're not the only student doing that. If 10 students enter the same prompt, ChatGPT will respond with the same structure, same examples, and same wording. Consider this question we gave students in 2025 after having read an Amazon case study. AWS remains Amazon's most profitable segment, but faces growing competition from Azure and Google Cloud. What strategic move should Amazon take to sustain cloud dominance? In the answer from student number 1, they say, Amazon should prioritize its custom silicon chips and AI, tailoring industries in finance, healthcare, and education. A different student answered that Amazon should develop in-house processors and artificial intelligence tools for verticals like education, healthcare, and finance. Student number 3 advocated for purpose-built chips and AI platforms, and you guessed it, targeting banking, the public sector, or healthcare. And the answer from student number 4, well, you get the idea. And the problem is not only that many students gave the same rehashed answer, but also those recommendations are not very profound. You may argue that it is a good strategy given the scarcity on semiconductors. Well, Amazon thinks the same. In fact, those answers from ChatGPT were drawn from news articles making the rounds in the press at the time. For example, an article from Reuters in July 2024 claimed Amazon to be racing faster than NVIDIA in developing AI chips. And Fortune ran a piece from the inside of an Amazon's chip lab. Remember, ChatGPT has been fed with existing sources of information. Therefore, always press ChatGPT to give you evidence of where its reasoning is coming from. Most importantly, always dig deeper. Amazon first announced engineering a data center chip back in 2018, which they named Graviton. By 2025, when the instructor was asking about AWS' next strategy, Graviton was in its 4th iteration. Therefore, that answer from ChatGPT given by 4 different students is so vague and generic that it fails to talk about Graviton. It is also nothing new. Answers from higher education papers should offer views and solutions that are new to the world, not just a rehash of what a company is doing already. Mistake number 2, prompting ChatGPT with a bias baked in. Without entering geopolitical controversy, say you were to ask ChatGPT, why is supporting APEC also supporting Russia? Now ask the opposite. Why supporting APEC also supporting Ukraine? Let's compare those 2 answers side by side. As usual, ChatGPT has provided an assertive answer to both questions. Its writing is so persuasive that both answers are credible and plausible for a novice in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. But why is that? How can ChatGPT be so agreeable to 2 opposite different statements? LLMs have been trained to give answers of what it thinks you want to hear. This is called sycophancy, attentive behavior towards someone important, in this case you, to gain an advantage. In other words, ChatGPT wants you to like ChatGPT, so it will always answer in a way that it can please you. In an article submitted to Cornell's open access platform Arxiv, researchers evaluated 5 leading AI models using tasks like poetry analysis and problem solving. They observed that prompt responses change based on cues about user preference. When presented with the same poem and being told that the poem was written by the user, ChatGPT would state that the poem was brilliant. But if ChatGPT was told that the poem was found online, then ChatGPT would jump into finding flaws for improvement. Researchers also analyzed scores given by users on AI answers and found that responses matching users' beliefs were more likely to receive high ratings, even when such responses were not factually true. So, don't be surprised if you find ChatGPT agreeing with you if you throw misconceptions like the earth is flat or that the coronavirus was caused by the 5G network. To avoid this sycophancy bias from LLMs, be neutral in your questions and press ChatGPT to base its answer on existing reliable sources. A better question for our earlier prompt would be, help me find scholarly academic sources that explore the Russia-Ukraine conflict in the context of APEC. Then read those articles, form your own opinion, and write it down. Last, use ChatGPT to enhance your spelling and grammar. Mistake number 3, asking ChatGPT to write your entire coding or finance assignment. Sure, it will speed code and calculation, lots of it, and very fast. But do you understand the output? If not, what happens when your instructor asks, explain line 17 to me. Why is that loop structured that way? Or explain why did you use this specific valuation model? If you can't answer, now you're stuck in a viva voce, an oral examination where you must defend your work line by line. Finance and accounting problems often depend on a specific order of operations, business assumptions, or tricky case context. Notice here how ChatGPT makes a mistake on this branch of the decision tree. The sum of the probabilities of any experiment must always add to exactly 100%. A better way is to ask ChatGPT to walk you step by step. Ask for small pieces of code and then ask ChatGPT, can you explain this line to me? What do you think is the first step to this cash flow problem? Elaborate how did you arrive to this number? Your goal should be to learn the subject matter by having your personal AI tutor. And while you don't need to write every line of code or perform every single calculation, you do need to understand every line and formula you turn in. Now that's academic integrity. Mistake number 4, letting ChatGPT generate your sources. ChatGPT is not connected to live academic databases. When it gives you a source, it is guessing what a legit looking citation might be based on the training data it had access to, licensed data, publicly available content, and even data created by human trainers. This process of guessing a legit citation can result in chatbot hallucination. In 2022, Jake Moffat asked Air Canada's chatbot about the possibility of canceling a flight to attend his grandmother's funeral. The bot said that Jake could get a refund if Jake made a written request within 90 days. But when Jake submitted his refund request, a human agent denied it, calling the chatbot's words misleading. Turns out that Air Canada didn't have such 90-day refund policy, but the chatbot hallucinated it. Air Canada argued that the bot was an independent entity and Air Canada shouldn't be legally responsible for what the bot said, that Jake should have read the fine print. An 18-month legal battle ensued, and in 2024, the court sided with Mr. Moffat. Air Canada had to issue the refund. They also decided to shut down the chatbot from its webpage. Just like a chatbot hallucination brought headaches to Air Canada, submitting a paper with a fabricated citation can bring headaches to you. In academia, making a fact or citation is a serious offense, even if the fake citation came from ChatGPT. You are the ultimate responsible for the papers you submit for credit. Consider this example from the marketing class exploring how to utilize dynamic pricing to decrease empty rooms in a hotel. The instructor requested students to support their proposals based on existing literature. Notice the funky names ChatGPT provided to comply with the instructions. There is no such publication like a hospitality systems journal. Authors Martinez and Fandari are made up. And the seemingly legit DOI link leads nowhere. If you ask ChatGPT for sources, always follow up with a question. Where did you get that? Give me the link or publication. If you can't verify a source spit out from a GPT, do not use the fact. Don't include that citation. Mistake number 5, citing ChatGPT as a source. Your academic dean or program manager will require you to disclose if you used ChatGPT in an assignment. That's transparency, and that is good. But do not write something like this. A Flat Earth conference was held in Dallas with 600 attendees. Source ChatGPT, no date. No, ChatGPT is not a source. You wouldn't cite Google, right? You cite the book or article that Google found for you. Same logic applies here. The correct source would be, according to Pichetta from CNN, a Flat Earth conference was held in Dallas with 600 attendees. And remember to provide the full reference at the end of the document. Use ChatGPT to brainstorm or to guide your thinking. Then ask, where did this idea come from? And always look up the original source where ChatGPT drew information from. And when you submit your paper, add a statement that reads like this. ChatGPT was used during the preparation of this assignment to clarify concepts and outline ideas. See attached screenshots for specific prompts. That's ethical use. That's how you stay safe and smart. Let's recap. Don't paste full assignment instructions. Avoid prompts with a bias. Don't turn in code or calculations you don't understand. Use GPT as a guide, not as your answer key. Never trust an LLM blindly on citations. And don't cite ChatGPT itself. We are not saying don't use AI. We are saying use it intelligently, use it with integrity. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't that you submit a perfect assignment. The goal is that you grow your mind.